Hey, Silas here, taking my daily walk. Sort of giving you some small little thoughts, vignettes, I don't know, just things that hopefully you can tell me what you think about this. I'm thinking about this right now, right? So, in about, what is it, 9 days? 9 days? Is it 9 days? I think it's 9 days. I think it's like 9 days. You're going to have a new president and vice president in the United States of America. One, Joseph Robinette Biden, and what's her name? Kamala. I don't know if she has a middle initial name. Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris from California. But one thing I've learned from watching U.S. politics, I watched the Democratic primaries. Kamala Harris was one of the first people to drop out. The media was pushing her. She, I think, came onto really the national stage during the Brett Kavanaugh hearings when that woman accused him of having assaulted him when he was being allowed to enter. He was being interviewed to enter the Supreme Court of the United States of America, and talking about how this is going to be a Trump guy. And then Brett Kavanaugh did actually accept. He was one of the people who dissented, said there was no standing for Donald Trump's. In the case that Texas and a few other states brought up. So yeah, I guess he was not really Trump's guy, and all this fear that people were telling. Well, anyway, so there was a lot of evidence in that. Of course, because there was widespread evidence of Brett Kavanaugh having done this. That's what they were relying on, right? They must have been. I don't quite remember, but I do remember Kamala Harris kind of being the star of that. It's questioning him. They're like, look how brave that Indian woman. I think at that time she was still known as the first Indian senator in the United States of America. But anyway, so it's like, okay, Kamala Harris is doing this. That's amazing. Look at her. Look at her going after this strong, this privileged white male trying to get in this. So there was that thing there. I was like, okay. And then they pushed her. When she came in the primaries, they were pushing her. They were going behind her. I remember that one time when she was with some reporters that were in her campaign, going around with the team. They had her, she was doing what? She was wearing that jacket. It's like a Technicolor jacket. I was remember like Joseph and the Technicolor coach type of thing. But they're like, oh, that's so good. That looks so good on you. And just fangirling. People were fangirling over it. Because she was one of them, one of us, one of the media, one of the elite, somebody they could relate to. Finally, after this boorish man, Donald Trump was in there. So that was the kind of thing. After this cold Mike Pence, who was such a Trump's man, such a bad white man who sits there and he's like, oh, I'm not going to have dinner with people who are with women unless they're my wife. I'm not going to sit there and have a meeting unless my wife is there. Doors are going to be open. He's such a sexist. So that was out. So anyway, that's what was in power. Then you have Kamala Harris here, this erudite, amazing Indian woman senator. Anyway, so she's in there, and then from then. You get to the point. I'm almost getting to the point of this idea. This is the thing. I might even go back in the start and then go and put the idea in the start, and it's going to be in the title somehow. So you have that happen, and then it comes to actually voting for her, and nobody votes for her. Very few people vote for her. She's one of the first people to drop out because the general populace, the general Democratic primary voters, were not enthused. They weren't feeling Kamala. They weren't hanging with. Is it Kamala or Kamala? I don't know. Kamala Harris. Maybe if you're Indian or if you're Jamaican, you say it differently than if you're a Democrat. I don't know what it is. I think it's Kamala Harris. So you have her drop out. I think she had like 1% in the first round in Iowa, which I think I could be wrong. They had that new system of voting in Iowa for the primaries. And still to this day, I could be wrong. Still to this day, I don't think they actually have the results of who actually won. There were some questions, and then Pete Buttigieg was the one who, the new transport secretary, who has had loving time in airports. He's just like them. He's just like the elites. He's just like the jet setters who spend a lot of loving and enjoying time. I like airports personally. I've been to airports a lot, but I realize my life is a lot different from most people. But I guess very many people saw Pete Buttigieg and like, oh, he proposed to his husband in an airport, he remembers it's such a great environment for him. He loves transport. He feels it in him. So he's going to be a great transport minister, because without the government, who's going to love our roads and transport system enough to build them and manage them? I don't know. So anyway, you have Pete Buttigieg was the one who supposedly won the Iowa caucus, the first ones. But he ended up fizzling out as well. But he didn't fizzle out before Kamala Harris fizzled out. Kamala Harris was one of the first ones to fizzle out. And then she stayed in. She maintained her course. She was campaigning for him. And then Joe Biden came out and said, Joe Robinette Biden. He was there with President Barack Obama, right? He was in there with him. And then he finally said, this was finally his turn. After 2 failed presidential election runs, trying to get to president. He failed twice. One of them, I think he discovered that he just lied about something, plagiarized. There's some things going on in it, but he's a different man now. He's a changed man now. He's been in there 47 years in politics. He helped President Barack Obama get into politics. He might have helped him a lot because, spoiler, he got way more votes, tens of millions of more votes than Barack Obama. So he's definitely totes more popular than Barack Obama. If anything, he was boosting Barack Obama. But not only did he boost the first black president, he said, I was going to pick a black woman for my vice president. Was it Susan Rice who has experience? No, not Susan Rice. It was going to be Oprah, Michelle Obama. No. Not someone out of pop culture that is very super popular. He went on and he looked and he said, wait, are you really just Indian? No, you're Indian and black. So we're going to go with Kamala Harris. And he lifted up this woman that had been dejected and rejected by the Democratic base, by the Democratic primary voters. And he said, me, Joe Robinette Biden, who looks out for the downtrodden people like the smartest man I know, my son, who has issues personally, and he's come up to that. I stand by these people. So I'm going to lift you up, black Indian woman. I'm going to lift you up from your failure. And then you're going to be on my ticket. And then we're going to be supposedly the most popular president win ever. And that just proves to me that current year in the United States of America, it's not so bad for black people. If you're a black woman, if you're a black migrant, like I'm trying to migrate in, then at least maybe my kids, they can get over the racism, potential racism. I'm not saying racist. I mean, I can't read their minds or anything. It's kind of racist they didn't vote for her, right? That's kind of what, like, they don't choose the person, they were choosing other people. And I don't know. So anyway, but Joe Robinette Biden came over that, and that showed me that, hey, in the United States of America, if you are a poor, downtrodden, black, Indian, immigrant, family, female, then you too can become the Vice President of the United States of America. You too can be successful as long as you attach yourself to a rich old white male. Then the sky's the limit. Or, so I don't like that saying the sky's the limit, because like the sky isn't the limit, because you look up to the sky, there's not really a limit. It looks like there's clouds. It looks like there's a boundary there. But really, it goes on forever. We just can't see the stuff out there. But anyway, you get the meaning, you get the idea. But anyway, so that's what I'm saying. In the United States of America, it's no longer as racist as it was in the past. Because now, in Biden's America, it's proof that if you are a black woman that has failed at something, attach yourself to a rich old white male, and you can defeat, supposedly, one of the most racist and hateful persons in the history of the United States of America, in someone like Donald J. Trump, who's still the current president for the next couple of days.
So thank you for listening. We tried to get back to some of these stream of thought things, looking at different platforms to do these. Looks like there's going to be some censorship on certain topics and just the decisions some of these companies have made. Yes, they're providing a platform, but there's other companies providing platforms in means that I'd like to support them. Start with the Locals Board. I've got an actual personal website coming up where I'll be posting the things, and you can find the links to my content on all the different platforms. I'll probably still be posting on the YouTubes and Twitters on some of those more mainstream ones, but I think those mainstream platforms are going to go a certain way and be certain, not even echo chambers in that sense, but certain approved content is going to be on those platforms, that if I'm relying on those, it won't necessarily be positive. It will limit certain things that I can talk about, and I think it will eventually get to a point where I might just be booted and yeeted off. And just some of it is also the principle. Just like what I'm talking about in this video, some of the things where if something is stated about a certain group of people, it's reacted to in a certain way, but when it's a different group of people, you find this other behavior. Like if I said this, why is this not the same reasoning? But I think we're going to see a lot of things that were A-okay to be said over the last 4 years of our Trump presidency that are going to be hushed over and kind of slept on now that the Biden administration, Biden's America is going to be a different place than Trump's America. And I think people are going to be a lot more disappointed who support him. And then some of us who remember what politics as usual was before Trump, there's certain things we're going to expect. And I think there's still some people on that side that are also, I think, a lot more fearful than should be. So anyway, like, share, subscribe. Should be merchandise on the screen as I'm saying this. Till next time, you can find some of that stuff up there. I'm putting a lot more art up, looking to get some more content out here, some more directed stuff. I'm excited. It's interesting things coming. Goodbye.